If there's anything that can warm me up during this cold Canadian winter, it's definitely a movie about a giant armored vehicle plunging into a frozen lake. Below Zero, Netflix's latest Spanish film since The Platform, isn't a movie about my score on hotornot.com, but an action-packed adventure through Spain's frigid rural side roads. Because when you're transferring a group of convicted felons, you always take the creepy back roads. But before we begin, warm my frigid heart by clicking that like and subscribe button so I can come out with more videos that disappoint my parents. Below Zero doesn't pull any punches. Okay, some punches. This is the opening scene where a hooded figure beats the crap out of a man named Chino. Remember him because he'll be important later on. Meet Martin, our film's protagonist. It's his first day on the job and he's assigned with transferring a group of felons to a prison up north. What we'll learn about Martin is that he's a rule follower. He believes in the law and treating the prisoners with respect. Naturally, he's partnered with a man who bends the rules, treats the prisoners like shit, and isn't afraid to beat them up. This is all part of Martin's character arc. For discretion and security purposes, the transfer is done at night and done through the back roads. The prisoners aren't told they're being moved and the police aren't allowed to carry cell phones. To make matters worse, one of the prisoners they're transferring is a Romanian crime boss, the ringleader of an international crime syndicate. Along with him are other prisoners: RAMIS, a bank robber who stole money to support his dream of opening up a restaurant in the Caribbean; Ray, a man who put his sister's assaulter in a coma and is serving 9 years; Pardo, also known as the economist who scammed people out of millions; Nano, I forgot what he's in here for, probably for being named after an iPod; and Gollum, yep, his name is Gollum. The trek north begins with a patrol car escorting the truck, but as a mysterious fog makes visibility almost non-existent, Martin soon loses visual. At the same time, Ramis has a trick up his sleeve, or should I say butt, because he's shoved a hook up there which he'll later use to escape his cell.
Jesus, what's up his butt?
Shit really hits the fan when the hooded figure from the beginning lays a group of spikes halting the truck. Whoever did this knew this transfer was coming and was prepared. Montesinos goes out to investigate, but after Martin loses communication with him over the radio, he goes out too, finding his badly injured partner. But he can't do anything because he's immediately shot at and runs into the forest where he finds that patrol car and its 2 officers dead. With nowhere left to run, he locks himself back in the truck, trapped with the murderous prisoners. And if things couldn't get any worse, the hooded figure starts pouring gasoline in the truck, forcing Martin to let the other prisoners out. The Wall Street guy is burned to death. That's what you get for trying to short GameStop. Everyone suspects that the person wanting into this truck is somehow linked to the Romanian, but when the hooded man communicates over the radio, we learn that's not the case. In fact, the mysterious man, who calls himself Miguel, will let them all free in exchange for Nano. Everyone is like, hey, that sounds like a good idea, but before anyone can do anything, Nano, completely out of the blue, kills the Romanian with a fire extinguisher, steals the key from him, and swallows it.
It's very tasty.
Basically, he makes it so that no one can get in and no one can get out. So the prisoners are in a dilemma. Miguel wants Nano alive so they can't rip him open to get the key out, and they don't have enough time to wait for him to pass it because the heat's been disabled. They could freeze to death. Martin is locked up while the guys look for a different way out underneath the truck's floorboard. While this is happening, Miguel takes control of the truck and drives away when we learn that Montesino is still alive. He calls for help and takes Miguel's truck to chase after them, where he finds pictures of a young girl and a newspaper clipping that says, "Police resume search for the body of Soledad Garcia." So Miguel obviously has something to do with this young girl. Montesino catches up to the truck and tries doing his best Mad Max, but ends up crashing into a tree. Miguel slams the brake, which causes Ray, who was underneath the floorboards trying to escape at the time, to be impaled on a screw.
That sucks.
So Miguel is like, I can't get these guys out, they can't get themselves out, and I could get caught, so let's set this truck in the middle of a frozen lake. And to make sure no one gets away, he'll shoot around the ice so the truck falls to the icy bottom. And the guys inside aren't too keen on this idea. Now, Martin says there's actually a secret exit to the truck. Way to bring that up now, Martin. It's located above the fluorescent light along the roof. Meanwhile, Nano is like,
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
And RAMIS helps Martin undo his cuffs, and they barely make it out alive. Now, Miguel, thinking he's killed everyone, notices that Nano made it out, so he goes on one final hunt, which is the last act of the film. And when RAMIS and Martin get out, we start to see how Martin's character arc is changing. RAMIS asks him, what now? Is Martin going to let him free? RAMIS could have left him chained up down there, but risked his own life to save him. So Martin lets him go, asking him what he's going to call his restaurant he's dreamed about opening. Martin has always been a rule follower, so we start to see here how he's beginning to change. Martin hears gunshots and rushes towards them. At this point, he's trying to stop Miguel from killing Nano, but we still don't really know why Miguel is going through all these lengths to get at him. That is until Martin catches up and we hear Miguel's full story. Remember those pictures in that newspaper article Montesino found in Miguel's car? Well, that was Miguel's 13-year-old daughter. Nano and his friend Chino, the guy from the beginning of the movie, drugged and her, tying her to their car and dragging her through a field. An investigation found insufficient evidence to implicate Nano and Chino, so they got off scot-free. That's why Miguel has a disdain for the law and takes matters into his own hands. He wants revenge, but more importantly, to find out where Nano disposed of his daughter's body. There's a part of Martin that still holds on to the law. He knows he can't let Miguel go through with this.
La ley no funciona así.
No creo en este sistema de mierda. Me habéis fallado todos. Pero yo no fallaré.
The two end up fighting, with Miguel escaping, but Martin is able to grab his gun. He quickly chases after him to find Miguel on top of Nano and holds the two at gunpoint. Up until now, Nano has proclaimed his innocence. He says he doesn't know anything about Miguel's daughter. But as a police helicopter descends and it looks like Miguel is going to be caught, Nano gleefully reveals,
¡No te lo voy a decir en la puta vida!
This is where Martin has to make a choice. He can wait for backup to arrive and let the law play out, or he can take matters into his own hands and do what's right. But that would mean breaking the law. Martin points the gun at Nano and demands he tell Miguel where his daughter is buried. And when Nano refuses, he blows his hand off. This is something that Martin at the beginning of the film never would have done. Now, getting your hand blown off totally sucks, and when you're confronted with a cop who's willing to go this far, you better give up that info. And that's what Nano does, giving them her location and telling them she was dropped down a well. Miguel will undoubtedly go to jail for what he did, but at least he can now rest easy knowing his daughter can be put to rest. Martin is another story. He clears out his locker, likely having been fired for what he did. But there's a moment where he looks at a picture of his daughter's. There's a small part of him that understands the pain and lengths a father will go to protect his children. But this ending thematically ties into one of the first scenes of the film. Martin has to fix a flat tire, and his daughter asks him what happens with the old one. Martin replies,
Nada, que hay que tirarla.
¿Y por qué?
Pues porque es una rueda. Lo importante es que funcione el coche.
Martin is the old tire in this story. He's tossed away at the end, but what matters is that he did the right thing. Of course, that's just my interpretation. What did you think of Below Zero? I want to hear your thoughts and comments below. Thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know what you thought about this more recap style of a video. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and for more bad takes, you can always follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ThinkStoryYT. Until next time, remember, Daddy loves you very much.